Well, hello, Mike. Hey, another great opportunity for another podcast.
I tell you what, I've been enjoying these things. I've been enjoying you and just all the different people we've talked to around the county. And, we're in a neat space today.
Mike,
You got
absolutely.
more knowledge on this, but this is such a neat library. We're at Western Piedmont Community College, but Danny, kind of tell us a little bit where we're at here, where we're recording
Oh,
at.
I'm going to tell you, I am really, really elated to be in such a historical, preserved library and an esteemed office of Senator Sam Ervin. As a child, I studied him in my civics classes, and now having the opportunity to be able to sit in his office, transformed from Washington, D.C.
Wow.
Mike, this is an honor. And I want to thank Western Piedmont for allowing us to be here.
Yes.
This is just I love the college.
You're right.
I retired here. I spent 25 years here, working in the field of criminal justice, and I really, really love this opportunity that we're having today.
Let's talk a little bit about criminal justice since we're here and talking about those things.
Okay.
Because you got a lot of background in that. And, everything, the laws of our lands and everything that we deal with, you were talking at one podcast about the education of people. If you got better educated people in the field and,
Yes.
everybody's still like Sam Ervin and people like that, legal standpoints. And there's so many smart people out there. To me, I'm just a simpleton. I know what the right and the wrong is, but when it comes to people like you that know how to train people and know all the different aspects of a law officer or a sheriff or policeman, if it's somebody not just on the job, but somebody that's trained on the job, man, that puts people way ahead of things.
Mike, I've always, even in the military, my instructors would always say, you will react the way that you're trained. And Mike, my dad. As a little boy, I would go to every opportunity with training with him and say, Dad, please, can I go here and go there?
Right.
And just to digress for 1 second, being from Fayetteville, he started the first canines in all of North Carolina.
That's amazing.
I've got a news article that says in 1961, it said, canines may have a future in the state of North Carolina law enforcement. And then he also started the first SWAT teams. They were called tactical units back then in the early 1960s. And so as a little boy, I saw this training.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, in 1968, there was a proposed legislation talking about how law enforcement officers really do need to be trained instead of this OJT kind of stuff.
Right.
And in 1968, my father took the opportunity to take advantage of that and went to Fayetteville State and received a 2-year degree. Then he ended up with a 4-year degree in criminal justice.
Right.
And folks said, hey, look, that education is not going to get you any place. And he said, no, wait a minute. Education is the wave of the future.
Right.
And so I watched what he did with that. And so lo and behold, I spent my military service, but I decided I wanted something more out of that and decided I would pursue a criminal justice degree. And I ended up with a 2-year degree from Fayetteville State, from Fayetteville Tech, I'm sorry. And then from Fayetteville State, a 4-year degree.
Right.
And lo and behold, it made me a better person because, again, I was able to understand the law a little bit better.
Yeah.
And having the opportunity to come here to Western Piedmont, I was hired here in 1996. And I was just really, really excited about being here because, the surrounding Burke County, we all can agree, is beautiful as this place is.
It's gorgeous.
Table Rock, again,
Hawksbill.
the way the campus is laid out here at Western Piedmont, it's beautiful.
It is. It's gorgeous. I love this layout, Danny. We're really fortunate to have that kind of history here in Burke County, and that it even drew you here. And then your dad, and then the backstory of you and what all you've done and that history, that legacy. To me, man, it's an honor for me because I'm so respectful for our police, all our law enforcement. You know how I feel about that, about your dad and about you and what all you guys have done. And, just being here on the campus, it makes me proud to be an American, Danny. I love that. I love our law enforcement and all that stuff.
Well, Mike, we have, the police academy here at Western Piedmont Community College has been one of the top and leading BLET programs in the state of North Carolina at the community college level. I'm real proud of that. And, and the good thing about that was the fact that I was involved in the educational program, the 2-year program.
Right.
And so we were able to turn around and trade off between young students, men and women, diversity, like you can't imagine. The population of the laying out of our community is what I wanted to see representative of law enforcement in our county.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, the BLET director and I, we would trade off. If we had say, for example, someone that was too young to go through the academy,
Right.
we would get them into the 2-year program, and then once they graduate from the 2-year program, I'd get them back into the BLET programs. And it's really worked out to be, again, a win-win situation for the college, for our community.
Right.
And Mike, it's so rewarding
Yeah.
to see the young men and women
Mm-hmm.
that graduate from Western Piedmont
Right.
to take fields in working in public safety with the Burke County Sheriff's Department. Hey, Mike,
Right.
Banks Hyman's a graduate of our program.
I know, man. I love Banks. I was talking with him this morning. We love his aunt too. Now talking about Banks,
And Pat.
Pat Burge, man. Now we love Pat. She plays racquetball with us.
She's a champion.
And I always cut up with me. I love beating up on Banks's aunt. And they kind of look at me funny, but Pat's a great racquetball player.
You could not ask for any better.
And Banks, the neat thing about him too, man, he's all in. He's born and raised here, man. He loves this, and he loves his job. He loves serving people. And I spoke with Crystal over at the clerk of court.
Right.
People like that. I mean, we got such good quality people that are making things happen. It makes us safe.
Well, when you have the leaders of your community that are also representative, for example, the college give them that opportunity, and we just built on that.
Right.
A matter of fact, Banks' son was one of my students as well too. So that's sort of neat to be able to see generations of educators being able to be representative throughout our community.
Exactly.
And so, Mike, but we wanted to take it a little bit further than that. We really truly did. And so we were able to get into the high schools, and we were able, to meet the needs, of course, bringing, younger folks in so that they could get their education with a 2+2 system.
Right.
And then, but we want to take it even further than that. We were able to partner with 4-year colleges like Lees McRae and Garner Webb, Western Carolina. And our officers were actually being able to get a good education, but the foundation was right here in Burke County.
Right,
and that was the pace setting for the criminal justice era for our county.
Yeah.
Even right now, we have people that went to work with the Highway Patrol that moved into very prestigious leadership positions that are graduates of this program.
Right.
And so granted, there's multiple programs across this college that I love because, again, we have great college presidents. The administration is, just first class. And did you know, Mike, I'm very proud to say that I know for the longest time that this institution itself has always jockeyed among the leading community colleges in the state of North Carolina, and they're that representative. So being in this prestigious room, I am so proud of here. I was proud to work here for 25 years. And again, everyone that I see on the street that has an association with Western Piedmont, every time, I mean this, is positive. It's all positive.
Well, we're talking the foundation here, and that's funny because we were talking about this off camera earlier, and we can talk about this. I thought this was great, but it's just how people are coming from all walks of life to this area, Burke County.
Right.
And they're seeing all the things that we've got in place and things that we're growing with and establishing. And you was talking about, we ran into the security guy here that's running security, Zeb
Graham.
Is Zeb Graham. And, he came in just kind of make sure everything was in order when we was doing. And then I mentioned your name, and he said you guys were friends. And he told me a story about, just 30 years later, how y'all kind of come back together. But you told a funny story about, law enforcement is different down there in Fayetteville.
Absolutely.
In those years.
Absolutely,
But
Mike.
you were telling about a little fisticuff y'all got in.
Little incident took place. Well, Mike, the good thing about working with people from diverse programs is, can always be really rewarding and can be a great benefactor when everything is in a positive light. Now, sometimes if you have a negative light, we want to shy away from that. But we were looking for a chief of security, and I started going through the applications, and I saw a name, Zebedee Graham. And I remembered, back in the 1990s, I'm going like, well, wait a minute. Now, my father hired a Zebedee Graham, and of course, and I was, worked with him on the platoons and stuff like that. Just a great guy. And I said, this can't be so. And I walked into the hiring board, and I said, listen, I know this guy, but I haven't seen him for 30 years. And everybody, yeah, right, and I hadn't. I promised I hadn't. And so, we got ready for the interview, and he looked at me, and I looked at him. We looked at each other. Both have that little bit of extra white on, white on my beard. And,
the wisdom.
Yeah, there you go. And I said, we'll talk afterwards, and he interviewed very well, and just a good guy. He left the Fayetteville Police Department and become a United States Marshal,
Yeah.
Air Marshal,
Yeah.
and again, just a good guy. Period. And it's wonderful how he was hired here at the institution,
right here.
and maintained a high level of integrity for our campus security. And Western Piedmont is just one of the safest campuses, I would have to say, across the nation.
Yeah.
Because again, there's quality,
Yeah.
good people,
Yeah.
and like I said, Zeb's just a wonderful guy, and we sort of have a little bond between each other. Fayetteville can turn into a powder keg at sometimes,
Right.
especially with the military.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having the 82nd Airborne, guys from Special Forces, the Delta Team, Pope Air Force Base, people from Camp Lejeune, the Marine Corps, and then you would have biker gangs, and then you'd have drug addicts and the mafia. And
Real
so
family
I'm
gathering,
just telling
wasn't
you. And so when they would go to the downtown areas and drinking and fisticuffs and things like that, and I never forget one night getting a call. I was working in a far away zone, and I got a call to go to the downtown area, and I switched to Channel 3, and I went like, "Do you realize how far I am away?" And they go, "Well, you're the only one that's available." So when I turned on to Hay Street, Mike, there wasn't 10 people or 20 or 30. There were hundreds in a massive brawl. And it just looked like a John Wayne movie, Mike. I mean, just like, on a cowboy
Everybody's
movie. Like,
kicking,
holy
rolling.
smokes. Yeah, and so I called back to headquarters and said, "Hey, look, don't send me one backup or two backup or three." I said, "You better unload the department." I said, there's probably 200 people out here fighting. And so my captain said, "Stand by till I get there." So all of a sudden, and it was on. And, and lo and behold, and Mike, the thing about it is, I think I was telling you earlier, there were no guns pulled.
Right.
There were no nightsticks or flashlights or pepper spray. We didn't have pepper spray back then. But it was just a good old knockdown
bodies.
Donnybrook scrap more than anything
Yeah.
else. And several people, of course, went to jail.
Yeah.
And then again, we tried to quell the situation the best we could. But Zeb was a part of that. And we sort of snickered and looked at each other at that time because I was the only one that got hurt there. And I got my hand broke.
Man.
But we had fun. But you know what? We represented the Fayetteville Police Department well.
Right.
We represented the citizens well.
Right.
And we treated people like they were supposed to be.
Yeah.
Some people, were going to show out, and
Right.
and you have to act accordingly. But
Sure.
and it goes right back to the way that you're trained.
Yeah.
If you're trained properly and you treat people with respect, no matter what they've done. Mike, you and I both have talked about this before. Until you walk in another person's shoes,
Right.
you don't know how they're going to react.
Right. That's one of the most important things that I like to do is knowing people's backstory. How can we help people? Danny, we have such a fentanyl problem, all those kind of things that we're dealing with, and people are concerned about those things. I'm so busy trying to give people hope. But people got issues. People got problems. They're dealing with mental issues in their life, and you kind of want everybody to kind of come along and just everything be easy and happy-go-lucky, but then you live in a world that's fallen and people's lives are falling. And, this epidemic, it's affecting people here in Burke County. And,
It is,
these are hard answers or questions to tough questions. And, how do we start approaching stuff like this?
Well, Mike, it takes all of us. It can't be just one person. It can't be hot dogging by any means. And it takes a conglomeration of people. And I think, again, education is a key factor. And because we're starting to see more and more, for example, like in elementary schools and junior schools and high schools are now being equipped with Narcan for the fact of that, we're seeing more of a drug presence in our school systems. And it's really, really tough to say. Back in the 1960s when I was a real little boy in the 70s, granted, if you caught somebody with marijuana, that was a sort of a rarity. But by the same token, it was not apparently as harsh of a drug as it is in today's society.
I know.
When you start people talking about, not only having to look at the fentanyl problem that we have, people that I've had them tell me they were huffing embalming fluid.
Right.
And again, it's just sort of sad to see this drug prevalence in our community take off. However, we can handle it.
Yeah.
We're very equipped to handle that.
Right.
And it's, what, Mike, it's all pulling together as a team.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, even with us sitting here today, with someone witnessing what we have to say, they may have had a family member to suffer. They may have suffered themselves.
Right.
But there's things that we can do.
Right.
And I think the first thing, again, is the education and bridging the gaps like we're doing right now.
Yeah.
We have, close friends of ours that are doctors
You're right.
that have them to come out and provide some seminars
Mhm.
to educate people about what to look for.
Right.
Our law enforcement officials throughout the county, they know exactly what to look for, and they know the hot spots of the problems.
Right.
So therefore, we need to let them to be able to do their job as well too,
Yeah,
and give them the
exactly.
equipment that they need.
Yeah, I'm all about equipping. That's probably my biggest thing, Danny. Is I want to try to figure out. It's always the money. That's why I love manufacturing business and stuff like that. What
Mhm.
I'm doing and those kind of things in Burke County, I'm so excited about what we can do to equip people. Everywhere I go, every genre I talk to, whether it's the police department or the sheriff's department or the college, it's always about the money. And I understand that,
I
and
get
and
that too.
those kind of things. So how do we make the money? So I'm excited about the manufacturing part of it that we're doing with the trusses. I'm excited about the things we're doing with the chimes on the arts, and that for the children. So we gotta be able to fund these things. Everybody talks about the position that we've got with the people we got in place. I want to bring everybody up. Everybody's got to have hope, Danny. Even the
Absolutely.
people in the street that's that there's no hope for people. People feel like that there's no hope in their life.
That's why it takes every individual to step up to the plate, Mike.
It takes all of
And
us.
we know people that can do that, and we know people that actually do that.
Yeah,
That want to get out and help. But by the same token, we have grant writers here
yeah,
that are available in this area that can help to bring about some of the funding that we
yeah,
would need to help to ensure and to look after our
yeah.
folks. And if nothing else, too, Mike. Like this morning, it was what 26 degrees
Mm-hmm.
getting up this morning, and I worried so much about the people in the streets of Morganton
Right,
or out in the county that were homeless that
right,
had no place to go.
right,
We can take care of them. We need to educate them, of course, so that they
right.
will have some place to go. But I tell you, Mike, that's a big concern of mine.
Yeah,
And if they feel like they have no hope
right,
and there's no other place to go, then they have to turn to some type of narcotic
right.
to help ensure their lifestyle. Um, it's tough.
Yeah,
It's got to be tough on them.
it is tough, and we're kind of both have the same heart when it comes to that kind of stuff, and people's they out there suffering. Danny, I've seen so much in my life of these kind of things and people's choices, and people make bad choices.
Sure, we all
We
do.
reap what we sow, and man, I've made some bad choices, and I've reaped what I've sowed, and try to make amends and try to regroup, and a lot of times people like the homeless and stuff like that. I can not be hard. I'm very compassionate, but at the same time, we got to figure out some solutions. I know it's a one-on-one thing. When I talked with Arwen, she ran the up there in McDowell County. She ran the mission up there,
Right.
and most of the people, it's a choice. They're choosing to do these hard drugs, and they don't have any hope, don't have any vision of what to do with their life, where to go with their life. I don't know all those things without individually going through each one, and you have to do that to a certain degree. You got to connect with each person. But that being said, I'm a no nonsense right now, Danny. I'm all trying to help everybody that's trying to do so. I'll help anybody that's trying to do something.
I know that. I
But
know
I've
that about
helped people that could care less if I'm helping them. And I don't have time for people like that. Now that sounds hard, but the time I have for is the percentage of people that are trying to do something, trying to make a life for themselves, and the ones who really choose. Now, I'm not talking about the ones just down on the luck and don't have.
I
We
get
got
that.
to help those.
I get that.
You can see those people that that they're always trying to do something to help out. If they're willing to work and help out and do something, I'm gonna help you. And we all the different things that we've got in our community can help. But I'm tired of dealing with things that's not helping. Not tough love. I'm very compassionate, but how do we solve, this thing where the streets are safe and people not coming out of movies or restaurants and somebody's walking up to them, and I don't like that. And all the women I talk to don't like that. The businesses don't like that. And I understand people's humanity. But
I get that.
for me, it can't be happening on the streets.
I get that. Mike, I can say this. We are so fortunate in the city of Morganton and in Burke County to have our cruisers rolling.
Yeah.
Mike, there was a study done many years ago called this Kansas City experiment. And what they did was they had taken a group of law enforcement platoons, and they would go to the hot spot areas of their city, and they would saturate the actual law enforcement presence there.
Right.
And then they would go to other hot spot sections in their city, and that would be very minuscule law enforcement.
Right.
And so what they did over the study and over the years that they blended the information together, they found that there was no crime difference in having a whole lot of law enforcement officer present, so to speak, versus a minuscule amount of law
Right.
enforcement officers. And that study was done a number of years ago. And I have studied it as well, too, and looked at a lot of flaws in the study itself.
Right.
Because I found that in Fayetteville, where I came from, that high presentation of law enforcement vehicles out and about, or officers that were out and about, when folks would see them, the amount of crime diminished.
Right.
And so I guess that's what I'm saying here in Burke County and in Morganton, we have a high presence of law enforcement officers being seen.
Yeah.
And I like that. I really like that. I
do
really
too.
support our police
I'm
administration,
all
our
about
chief,
it.
and of course, and our sheriff, by getting those officers
Yeah.
out and about and seeing them. Because I want you to think about something, and I can say this from experience. You know, operating a marked unit, the citizens see me. They know me. I may not see every citizen. You have to draw my attention to you specifically.
Right.
And when people actually see the cruisers themselves, I want you to think about it. If a North Carolina state trooper got behind you driving in the city limits right now while you're in the operation of your motor vehicle, Mike, what would you do?
Slow down.
Slow down. Were you speeding? You know, and again, you
Of
think about
course,
that.
I was speeding. Y'all know Mike Stroud. I'm speeding usually.
But you know what? But that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Example. You may not have been speeding, but what happened? You took notice. You adjusted your seatbelt, or what
Sure.
have you.
Right.
You know, and that officer may not have had any clue of what you were doing.
Right.
You have to draw their attention.
It's like father coming home.
And so the bottom line is this: you took notice. And if the citizens see, hey, listen, there's a major presence of law enforcement officers are riding around, they're getting out of their cars, they're shaking hands with the business people, or they're helping, kids, or they're, rolling out in the playgrounds and things like that, going, hey, how's it going? That's a real neat opportunity.
Yeah.
And I know that the Morganton Public Safety and the Burke County Sheriff's Department, they're doing that.
Right.
They're getting out in the community. They're seeing people. Those cruisers are rolling, and I'm really excited about that. Matter of fact, I'm getting a cold chill right now because again, I'm so excited about. We are fortunate.
Yeah.
However, we also know that we also have some issues that need to be addressed.
Sure.
And that goes right back to, again, to working collectively, informing the community of what we're doing. I like to see people feel and understand about safety measures.
Right.
And every time that the law enforcement agencies are rolling out, again, it gives me a sense of peace.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons I'm glad to call Morganton home for me
Exactly,
and my family.
Well, Danny, I'm the same way. I'm all about Burke County and what makes us the best in every capacity. We're talking about law enforcement. We're talking about the drugs and those things and how we can fix some of these different things, the homelessness and all those kind of things. Danny, what do you see are some of the ways that we can, like I say, I'm always bouncing off manufacturing. I want the best here in Burke County for everything. Because we got the best people, we got the best of everything. We've got all these good things. I guess I want the amenities. I want the best entertainment. I want the best in food entertainment. I want the best in dining experiences. I want the Morganton experience and the Burke County experience to be unlike anybody else's.
Well, I think we're seeing that right now. Like I said, we had mentioned in one of our podcasts specifically about the sheets coming here.
Yeah.
And again, and they're coming. You see a lot of sheets as I'm traveling down the interstate.
Right.
They're on the interstate.
Right.
But they're in the inner portion of our city here.
Right.
And I'm really glad to see that.
Yes.
Even we talk about Cookout is right across the street. Who would have ever thought a huge chain like this would be right here?
Right.
Look, Mike, when's the last time you've been to Chick-fil-A, for example? And you can just imagine seeing the amount of traffic going through there.
We need about
with Longhorn
two more.
We all like supporting it. So again, it looks like industry is they're taking notice.
Right.
They're really taking notice. And I've heard the rumor control about other larger businesses coming here, additional name brand restaurants coming here.
Right.
But granted, I also like our hometown community as well too. I think we like that.
Yeah.
I've seen the population even pick up at my barbershop, at City Barbershop, with Mike Chatham and Kevin. again, it stays busy.
Yeah. Well,
Again,
that
and I'm
whole little
glad to see
area
people
right
coming
there,
here. Yeah,
Asian fusion, they got hibachi now, where you don't have to
really.
go down to Hickory, and I love that. They're doing a great job of hibachi, with Japanese, the ovens and everything
Do they throw
right
the
there, right
the,
in
the
front of you.
utensils
Oh
up and
yeah, oh
everything?
yeah, they do all that. Yeah, it's right here in town at Asian Fusion.
Will you take me sometime?
I always, brother.
That'd be
Man, we
great.
rock it. They'll open it up for 3 or 4 people. I mean, they're good people over there, and like City Barber and the guy at Music Patch. He's getting ready to open up a music store downtown in
Really,
Morganton. Yeah,
I
so
didn't know
that's
that.
going to be nice.
That's good.
So you see businesses starting, you see them growing, just like me. Start and then grow. So it's good to see all these different businesses propping up and doing good, and man, the thing that concerns me, I guess, more than anything, Danny, here is I'm all about getting around. It's infrastructure and stuff like that. To me, that'd be the thing I would want to put my money in regards, because you got to be able to get around places. You got to be able to get in
I
and
get
out.
that.
There's got to be accessible. It can't be tight. You can't put 10 pounds of poop in a 5-pound bag. All those kind of things. It's so I'm always looking at that. I don't want to be stuck in our like our interstate programs and stuff like that. This stuff's our infrastructure is dated, and it needs to remind. We're doing some stuff,
Yep.
and it's coming along, but it comes back to the money, I guess.
You know
Danny.
what? And you're right, Mike, because again, you think about the bridge repair that they're making right there, at Walmart
Right.
specifically that we're seeing,
Huh.
and you're going like, geez, is it because the bridge is dated and there may be some structural damage that was there,
Right.
or are we having to widen the roads?
Right.
I look at just, if nothing else, look at the infrastructure here on this college campus.
Yeah.
25 years ago, was totally different, and
Yeah.
next thing you know, we have 2 stoplights out in front of the college.
Right.
And the way that the college designed, somebody's taken a lot of pride in looking at the structure of this
Yeah.
campus, and it's just really, it's really doable. I'd have never thought there'd have been 2 stoplights out in front of this college.
I know.
You know?
Well, the growth's coming, Danny. I
It
mean,
is.
Burke County's growing, and that's the thing that we're talking about. We got the law enforcement, we got the education, we got Western Piedmont, we got the downtown area. I mean, we got businesses coming
We
in. We got vision and all those things, and man, that's so exciting for me. And it's such a beautiful
We do.
area, I'm just so partial to Burke County, and I
Right.
see that we can do. I'm a motivated manager. Always been like that at Lowe's when I worked at Lowe's here. Bring a team together, you get some things done, you get everybody in the right position, and y'all work together just like we're doing, just like everybody's doing here in Burke County. But I want to see more of the community get on fire, for something. I was downtown last night, and we've got a lot of great things, but we need some accommodations for our families and for our children, and things like that, and we work in those ways, but I don't think a lot of times people realize how much is coming. I think and it's coming, and like if people are like, where do we go here, what's going on, how do we get around, and I just want to see everything kind of broaden out and innovative ways in everything, and getting around, and food and entertainment. I talk about these same old things, but it's like being in your home.
Mike, I get that. However, I'd like to put the spotlight on you a little bit,
Okay.
if nothing else, if I could, for the fact of that. I remember, when I first got here and had the opportunity to meet you, you were in a very small location, and now your location has grown and grown and grown, and now you're across the street.
Right.
You have operations there, and so it goes right back to the leadership. So, Mike, you are leading, and I mean this sincerely with my heart. The fact of that you are taking that step forward as a business entrepreneur, and
Right.
you are moving forward, and you're meeting the needs of people here, not only in Burke County, but nationwide. And I
Right.
see that. I'm going like, well, okay, so with that, your staff is increased, and again, so you're providing job opportunity.
Right.
I understand the fact of that, that we are going to need more housing. There's no
Yeah.
question about that. And it's coming. It has to come.
Yeah. Right.
This county is growing. Again, being back here on this campus, the School of Math and Science, you think about the students that are coming here.
Yeah.
You think about the educational facilities of maintenance. You think about the people that are actually having to do that, the
Right.
instructors. They're needing housing and accommodation as
Yeah.
well. this place is growing with leaps and bounds.
Yes.
But I really think that, for example, like podcasts like this,
Mm-hmm.
us getting together and talking about issues and educating the public.
Right.
By the same token, we'll have other people to contact us, which I have had, and I know
Sure.
you have too, about, well, hey, listen, have you thought about this
Right.
issue or that issue? And and seeing relatively people coming up to us and saying, let's make a difference,
Right.
and we want to make that contribution.
Right.
And I see that happening.
Right.
I really truly do.
I do
And if
too,
nothing else, too, if you just take a look at the campus,
Mm-hmm.
and and with the new administration,
Right.
building,
Yeah.
that's it's. I'm telling you, Mike, I'm just really excited.
I am
Even
too,
like I
brother.
said, the presence of this location of
history.
Senator Sam's
Yeah.
office, I am so, like I said, I got my chill bump on my
Yeah.
legs again, because again, I'm so excited to be
Yeah.
here, and
Yeah.
again, because here you have a man that was so representative of his city,
Yeah.
his county, his state,
Right.
and the nation.
Yeah.
And again, and we're right here,
We're
and
right
so
here.
maybe there's going to be some others that will follow suit with
Yeah.
him, and just really take off. And
Yeah.
Burke County is a real place to be at. I'm telling you, I call Burke County home.
I'm with you, brother. It's the home team, Danny. We got the best people. I mean, I'm really like that. I've always been a fan of the home team and the players, and I'm just blown away by the talent in our county in every capacity. It comes back to me, Danny. My biggest passion is, I really see manufacturing. I really see a way. I think about Lowe's. I remember Lowe's when I worked at Lowe's. Lowe's got started, just like me, but they had a rail spur, and they were selling. They was selling lumber out of a cigar box, or not out of a cigar box. They collecting the money in the cigar box, probably smoking the cigars, but off a train. And now it's spread out. And I see that same thing with me. I want to, like Senator Sam Erwin, I want to give back to my city, my county, and I've got the means. Not even counting the chimes and stuff that we could do for the arts councils and stuff like that.
Sure.
All these things that are international products that people don't even know about yet. That look what Lowe's did. One, just imagine if you had one company, and we got a lot of companies, but they're all in on making this place not futuristic, but I mean top notch in all the new equipment, and things like that we can do. I was talking to Patrick yesterday, and they were talking about a piece of equipment where it's like a 3D thing where they, instead of bringing in cadavers, to operate or to see muscles and stuff like that.
Right.
This was like a system that was, you didn't have to do a cadaver. You could actually peel the skin back and show. It was educational. And I thought, this is amazing. And, he says, well, they couldn't do it because it was like $85,000. And I said, is that all? Hey, now that's a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money, but to me, that's not a lot of money for what that could do for the education of students.
Right.
And all those things. So it always comes back to the money. And to me, I want to be the one that brings the money. I want to bring the things that can help our county so that we can be the best in every way in manufacturing. That's just my dream, Danny. And I see it happen. I see, when you've got unlimited resources, you can help your people around you and your community. And that's what I want to do. I want the streets to look good. I want just everybody to come up, because everybody's plugged into something. They got some hope. They got, hey, man, we can have a home. We can have a house. We're all in on our community. We want the pride in our community. We want it looking good. We want it trimmed up.
Absolutely.
All those things, people having fun with their families, with their kids, enjoying the parks, enjoying education, all those things.
To me, that's important. And Mike, you just sparked just one of my thought process is the Western Piedmont Foundation.
Yeah.
If we could get together and get behind Western Piedmont, the foundation program, and support that program to help, because they do so much for the whole county.
Yeah.
They help to provide funding for students, education for instructors, and again, it just raises the level. And I really believe in my heart, Mike, if we can continue to going right back to education, if we can make major contributions to the Western Piedmont Foundation, that would turn around and start to help to continue to set the pace. Mike, I was a part of the foundation committee several years back where 100% we had 100% participation
Yeah.
of the employees
Yeah.
here at Western
Yeah.
Piedmont giving to their own foundation.
Yeah.
It's because they believe in that.
Yeah.
And I see that. And the community, when
Can
they
rally
start to
around
see that,
that.
go like, this is great. So what does that
Yeah.
do? So you mentioned manufacturing to help to put some funding into the coffers for
Yeah.
education, for the manufacturing process. And it's like it will come.
It will
It will
come.
come.
Well, Danny, just what you're talking about here at Western Piedmont, Joel gave us a tour, and and Nancy here at the library, and all the people that are doing things, and things that they're doing to promote the college. There's so much here people don't realize is here. I mean, there's a TV studio in here.
Right.
There's, there's welding, there's pottery, there's all the stuff the arts and stuff like that people
Sure.
love doing too. But then there's the training for the law officers, and there's so much here that's available. So we want to fund those things.
And I think we really need to. But you know what? Getting the students at younger ages,
Yeah.
getting them motivated,
Get 'em
because you're going to
motivated.
say, hey, listen, have them to set the buy-in,
Yeah.
to say, listen, this is my community.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of this community and continue to make it a safe community
Yeah.
and a thriving community,
Yeah.
but still, I guess, making it also the hometown experience, like
Yeah.
being able to, if I wanted to buy a trust, I could buy one from Mike Stroud.
Right. Well, that's
here in the hometown community.
Hometown
The hometown,
community.
because again, to me, that's just generating
Yeah.
more profit for us and a better lifestyle
Yeah.
for the citizens of Burke County.
Yeah, I'm excited about it,
I am
Danny. It's
too,
just
Mike.
like going to a ball game. Everybody's doing their thing, and I see it happening
Yeah.
in a lot of towns. I see a new generation coming.
Right.
I've been working a lot with my generation, and there's a transition there. Like Brian Epley, he's coming in. He's got some great ideas, a way of really cutting money and making money and being
Right,
responsible and all
right.
those different things. But there's a changing of the guard. It's not the greatest generation before. I'm so thankful that they instilled into me their values, their work ethic, and and diversity. All of us together. And what we can do as a community, and when we're educated, when we're helping each other up, when there's hope, when there's a dream, we want everybody to have a dream. You want everybody, all the kids,
Sure.
anything they want to do. We
good
want to equip them.
That's what needs to happen, Mike. You
Yeah.
know what? And I think, like I said again, going back to having informative conversations like
Yeah.
we are right now today, is experiencing that.
Yeah.
If we could just change one person, we've made a difference.
Yes.
But I want to change many. I'm like you. I really think that we've got a great opportunity,
Yes.
and let's continue to do that. So
Yes, definitely. I'm excited,
Right.
Danny, that we're going to be doing more of these podcasts.
we are.
We're going to be going in depth with all kind of things.
are.
So contact us, get in touch with us, and we're going to be talking about Burke County and building Burke County and building each other.
I think that's important. And again, to the staff and the administration here at Western Piedmont Community College.
Yes.
First of all, thank you for letting me be a part of this organization for 25 years. I love this institution. I'll continue to do any and everything I can to help this institution. I know you will be too. So
Yes.
thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really love this place.
Yes. God bless y'all. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
next time.
Take care.